Good evening, this is Mr. Evans, and tonight we are beginning with Chapter 1 of Collier's Junior Classics, Volume 1, which is called ABC Go, and Chapter 1 is called Nursery Rhymes. Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies. At-a-shoo, we all fall down. Georgie, Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie, Porgy ran away. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her poor dog a bone, but when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. She went to the baker's to buy him some bread, but when she came back, the poor dog was dead. She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin, but when she came back, the poor dog was laughing. She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. She went to the fishmonger's to buy him some fish, but when she came back, he was licking the dish. She went to the alehouse to get him some beer, but when she came back, the dog sat in a chair. She went to the tavern for white wine and red, but when she came back, the dog stood on his head. She went to the hatter's to buy him a hat, but when she came back, he was feeding the cat. She went to the barber's to buy him a wig, but when she came back, he was dancing a jig. She went to the fruiterer's to buy him some fruit, but when she came back, he was playing the flute. She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat, but when she came back, he was riding a goat. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes, but when she came back, he was reading the news. Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, 1 for the little boy that lives down the lane. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread. She whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. A diller, a dollar, a 10 o'clock scholar. What makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock, but now you come at noon. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells, and pretty maids all in a row. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home, wagging their tails behind them. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleating. But when she awoke, she found it a joke, for they were all still a-fleeting. Then up she took her little crook, determined for to find them. She found them indeed, but it made her heart bleed, for they'd left their tails behind them. It happened one day as Bo Peep did stray into a meadow hard by. There she espied their tails side by side, all hung on a tree to dry. She heaved a sigh and wiped her eye, and ran o'er hill and dale, and tried what she could, as a shepherdess should, to tack to each sheep its tail. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Then up Jack got, and home did trot, as fast as he could caper, and went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper. Hush-a-bye, baby, thy cradle is green. Father's a nobleman, mother's a queen. Sister's a lady, and wears a gold ring. Brother's a drummer, and drums for the king. Little Tommy Tucker sang for his supper. What shall he eat? White bread and butter. How shall he cut it without e'er a knife? How shall he marry without e'er a wife? Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and nicked off her nose. I had a little nut tree, but nothing it would bear, but a silver nutmeg and a golden pear. The King of Spain's daughter came to visit me, and all on account of my little nut tree. See, saw Marjorie Daw, Jack shall have a new master. He must have but a penny a day, because he can't work any faster. 3 little kittens, they lost their mittens, and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our mittens we have lost. What, lost your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then you shall have no pie. Meow, meow, meow. 3 little kittens, they found their mittens, and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have found. What? Found your mittens, you good little kittens? Then you shall have some pie. Purr, purr, purr. Hickory, dickory, dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down. Hickory, dickory, dock. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Ding dong bell, pussy's in the well. Who put her in? Little Johnny Green. Who pulled her out? Little Tommy Stout. What a naughty boy was that, to try to drown poor Pussycat, who never did him any harm, and killed the mice in his father's barn. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating a Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been? I've been to London to visit the Queen. Pussycat, pussycat, what did you there? I frightened a little mouse under a chair. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, "Let me taste your ware." Says the pieman to Simple Simon, "Show me first your penny." Says Simple Simon to the pieman, "Indeed, I have not any." Simple Simon went to look if plums grew on a thistle. He pricked his fingers on a thorn, which made poor Simon whistle. Simple Simon went a-fishing for to catch a whale. All the water he had got was in his mother's pail. He went for water in a sieve, but soon it all fell through. And now poor Simple Simon bids you all adieu. There was an old woman tossed up in a basket, 19 times as high as the moon. Where she was going I couldn't but ask it, for in her hand she carried a broom. Old woman, old woman, old woman, quoth I, O whither, O whither, O whither so high? To brush the cobwebs off of the sky. Shall I go with thee? Aye, by and by. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole the tarts, and took them clean away. The King of Hearts called for the tarts, and beat the knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts brought back the tarts, and vowed he'd steal no more. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. There came a big spider, and sat down beside her, and frightened Miss Muffet away. This is the house that Jack built. This is the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cock that crowed in the morn that waked the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the farmer sowing his corn that kept the cock that crowed in the morn that waked the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built. One, two, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a big fat hen. 11, 12, dig and delve. 13, 14, maids a-courting. 15, 16, maids in the kitchen. 17, 18, maids in waiting. 19, 20, my plate's empty. Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle on. Polly put the kettle on, we'll all have tea. Sukey, take it off again. Sukey, take it off again. Sukey, take it off again. They've all gone away. There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold. Some like it in the pot, 9 days old. Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean. And so betwixt them both, you see, they licked the platter clean. To market, to buy a fat pig. Home again, jiggity jig. To market, to buy a fat hog. Home again, jiggity jog. There was an old woman lived under a hill, and if she's not gone, she lives there still. Buy baby bunting, daddy's gone a-hunting, to get a little rabbit skin to wrap his baby bunting in. Cock-a-doodle-doo, my dame has lost her shoe. My master's lost his fiddlestick, and knows not what to do. Cock-a-doodle-doo, what is my dame to do? Till master finds his fiddlestick, she'll dance without her shoe. What are little boys made of? What are little boys made of? Snips and snails and puppy dogs' tails, and that's what little boys are made of. What are little girls made of? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and all that's nice, and that's what little girls are made of. Goosey, goosey gander, whither shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who would not say his prayers. I took him by the left leg and threw him down the stairs. Curly locks, wilt thou be mine? Thou shalt not wash dishes, nor yet feed the swine, but sit on a cushion and sew a fine seam, and feed upon strawberries, sugar, and cream. Ride a cock-horse to Banbury Cross, to see a fine lady upon a white horse. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, and she shall have music wherever she goes. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. The north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow. And what poor Robin do then? Poor thing, He'll sit in a barn and keep himself warm and hide his head under his wing. Poor thing. Hickety-pickety, my black hen, she lays eggs for gentlemen, sometimes 9 and sometimes 10. Hickety-pickety, my black hen. Rock-a-bye baby on the tree top. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all. Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. A frog he would a wooing go. Hi ho, says Rowley, whether his mother would let him or no, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. So off he set with his opera hat. Hi ho, says Rowley, and on the road he met with a rat, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Pray, Mr. Rat, will you go with me? Hi ho, says Rowley. Pretty Miss Mousie for to see, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. They came to the door of Mousie's hall. Hi ho, says Rowley. They gave a loud knock and they gave a loud call, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Pray, Miss Mouse, are you within? Hi ho, says Rowley. Oh yes, kind sirs, I'm sitting to spin, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Pray, Miss Mouse, will you give us some beer? Hi ho, says Rowley. For Froggy and I are fond of good cheer, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Pray, Mr. Frog, will you give us a song? Hi ho, says Rowley. Let it be something that's not very long, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Indeed, Miss Mouse, replied Mr. Frog. Hi ho, says Rowley. A cold has made me as hoarse as a dog, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Since you have a cold, Mr. Frog, Mousie said. Hi ho, says Rowley. I'll sing you a song that I have just made, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. But while they were all a merry-making, hi ho, says Rowley, a cat and her kittens came tumbling in, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. The cat, she seized the rat by the crown. Hi ho, says Rowley. The kittens, they pulled the little mouse down, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. This put Mr. Frog in a terrible fright. Hi ho, says Rowley. He took up his hat and he wished them good night, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. But as Froggy was crossing over a brook, hi ho, says Anthony Rowley, a lily-white duck came and gobbled him up, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. So there was an end of 1, 2, 3. Hi ho, says Rowley. The rat, the mouse, and the little froggy, with a rowly-powly gammon and spinach. Hi ho, says Anthony Rowley. Diddle diddle dumpling, my son John, went to his bed with his breeches on, one shoe off and one shoe on. Diddle diddle dumpling, my son John. Tom, Tom the piper's son, stole a pig and away he run. The pig was eat and Tom was beat, and Tom ran crying down the street. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Where is the little boy who looks after the sheep? He's under the haystack, fast asleep. Will you wake him? No, not I. For if I do, he's sure to cry. That is the end of our reading for tonight, and we will pick it up tomorrow night again with the section called Favorite Folk Tales. Have a good evening.